I'm gonna give you my take. Is it worth it to go and invest all the resources into the champion training tournament to compete and try to win the champion? Hello everyone, I'm Skratch, welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guess what? We got a new champion training tournament to whale out and win a legendary champion. A brand new legendary champion that was just added to the game today and is part of the Call of the Arbiter series. I think was featured in today's episode. I honestly didn't have a chance to check out the episode just yet, but I'm gonna do it later. And I'm gonna give you my take. Is it worth it to go and invest all the resources into the champion training tournament to compete and try to win the champion? Of course, invest all the time, because when we have these sort of events, you really need to put in the time. 4 days and 22 hours. And yeah, is the champion really worth it? We want to check that. Is a strong champion? Is an average champion? I don't think that I'm gonna go for the event. I don't know, I'm not feeling it that much. I do love the design on the champion though, so honestly it's a pretty awesome one. My bracket doesn't look that great either at the moment. I could just jump in and demolish it and hope for the best, that the player is just gonna chill. I might go for it, I might not, but I'm kind of like leaning towards not going and just stick with the side rewards, which they look pretty decent. Now let's have a quick look at the champion and kind of like, let me first explain you actually how this works. You might have a easy bracket, you might not. If you have an easy bracket and it doesn't cost you much to get a champion, get it, you know. If you have a crazy bracket, think twice, because the amount of resources you're gonna have to invest to win one of these brackets, if they're going crazy, are gonna be pretty high, the amount of resources. And the next thing is there are 200 people in the bracket, okay? One thing to keep in mind, you see the global is already at 40k points, so some people are going all in for the champion. But let's quickly check out the kit, you know. Shadowkin, you need a new faction war champion for the Shadowkin. You don't. He's not really a support champion, he's an attack-based champion, force affinity, and she does look great. So we have Tatsu, and then we have Hotatsu. But I love the design. She might be one of my most favorite looking champion in the entire game. I don't know, I just love the stance, love the swords, the way they designed the, not armor, but dress or whatever we're gonna call this. It actually looks pretty sick. I love the blindfold on the eyes. So base stats are actually pretty good. 14,700 HP, 1,553 attack, 1,046 defense, 100 speed. So with A1, transfer and slash attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target. Then it fills this champion's turn meter by 5% for each transfer debuff. Yeah, it's not an amazing A1. I'm not sure what multipliers the champion will have. Of course, that's another thing that will actually tell us, okay, is this a good champion or no? With the A2, Rat Explosion, this will be on a 3-turn cooldown fully booked. Attacks all enemies, 100% chance of landing decreased resistance debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and a sleep debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Fills this champion's turn meter by 10% for each debuff placed. So it's actually pretty interesting. You have decreased resistance and sleep at the same time. So sleep is, in my opinion, is the weakest form of crowd control, because if you touch the champion again, it's gonna wake up. If you're putting an HP burn or a poison and they're ticking, that's gonna wake them up as well. So it's not necessarily the best crowd control, but interesting idea. I'm not sure how hard this champion will hit, you know, like attack based, it doesn't mean necessarily that you need to build them only for attack and not utilize them for utility, but not sure what to think about it, honestly. I'm not that excited. Then the A3, Purgation Blade. On a 5-turn cooldown, fully booked will be a 4-turn cooldown. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Before attacking, removes all debuffs from this champion and steals all buffs from the target. Places an increased attack and an increased crit damage buff on the champion for 2 turns if the attack kills an enemy. Now, that's where my problem is, man. Like, this should happen before the champion attacks. That would make the champion interesting, would make the champion good. But getting the increased attack and the increased crit damage after I'm attacking, you know, it's kind of like defeating the purpose of me doing damage, you know, like, what am I gonna do with them after? Yes, are they gonna benefit me with the A2, and I still need to bring in increased attack to ensure that I have a pretty decent chance at killing somebody, you know? You might smack reaction directly, and without increased attack, you might not be able to kill somebody. So I'm not a fan of the whole idea here that you're getting the buffs after instead of getting them before. It was better if you were killing an enemy, you were removing the buffs from a different random target or from all the enemies. That would have made the champion much better, actually, because if you're attacking and remove buffs after, polymorph can proc after, but it doesn't really matter anymore because you already kind of like completed your mission, you know. Then the passive, immune to sleep debuffs, increases this champion's accuracy by 10 and crit damage by 3 for each buff on the enemy team. Interesting again, so they need to have buffs on to get crit damage, they need to have buffs on to get accuracy. It's gonna be a good thing for the accuracy part, because it's a nice mechanic to be able to build a champion with less accuracy and focus damage, while if the enemies have, like, I don't know, 3-4 buffs each one of them, you're gonna get a lot of accuracy like that, so that's great. But I don't think the champion is worth the effort unless you have a very easy bracket. So I would like to get it just for the collection because it looks so sick design wise, you know. Probably I wouldn't use the champion, maybe in faction wars, maybe not, but that's about it. I would definitely not build a champion for arena in the current state. That doesn't look like it's great for clan boss, doesn't look like it's great for waves, for wave control, or just necessarily for killing waves, because it's one AoE only. So I'm not sure where that puts me with the champion. Like, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below as well. What do you think about the champion? Are you tempted by it? I just personally don't think that is worth the effort, honestly. That's why I don't think I'm gonna engage into the tournament. I might leave it till tomorrow, see where these guys are going. If they're not going too crazy, I might go for it. I don't think I'm just gonna go in and try to get it today, but that's kind of like my take on it. I might wait for the next one. That was all for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How many of you guys are planning to engage into the Whale Fest? And appreciate every single one of you watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.